Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, coming direct from the garden level studios at the Holman House. And we have on the other end of this interview, fascinating young lady, Molly Chan. She's president and owner at Alliance Payment Solutions in Okemos, Michigan. Among other things, I have to say, and I don't have time to really name everything you do. Welcome to the show, Molly, and let's kind of start out by acquainting the audience with you, who you are, what you do.
Thank you, Chris. I'm very excited to be here chatting with you from my garden studio outside Hamilton Road. So anyways, thank you so much. So my name's Molly Chan, and I own a lockbox business. It's also called Remittance Processing. We are headquartered in Okemos, but we actually are nationwide lockbox processors. So Alliance was actually started by my husband, my late husband, over 14 years ago. And it was never my dream as a 14-year-old to open a lockbox company, but sometimes, life is fast and it pivots, and here I am. So I'm an attorney by trade. And then about 6 years ago, the unthinkable happened to my family. My husband was 39 and diagnosed with esophagus cancer and fought a valiant fight, but he passed away, unfortunately, 8 months later. And I inherited Alliance, which is actually his baby. I would do his contracts and I can run every machine in my office, but, this was really his baby. And, my first instinct was to sell. And because I actually, like you said, I had 2 other companies at the time, as well as a law firm, my own little law firm that I did. And but when I went to sell, they only wanted the assets, which meant that every single employee, some that had been working for Edward since day one, when you first start a business and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, so they went, a year or 2 without a raise, they all would have lost their jobs. And that didn't sit well with me. So I told them all to brush up their resume, but I'm going to keep the company and give it a go. And I am happy to report that, my Edward built a real solid company. But in the last 6 years, my team and I have grown it over 150%. And we actually now went from one processing site, and we are opening October 1st in Florida, and follow up soon in New York. And that will make Indiana, Detroit, Lansing, Charlotte, North Carolina, Florida, and New York City. So we're growing quite nicely.
So it makes sense that your other office is in Florida.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. And there was no coincidence behind that I hate winter. So yes, I'm very blessed in that. About 2 years ago, one thing that my husband's journey taught me is that life is short, and you live it fully and with passion. And I am not passionate about snow. I love Michigan. I'm a Detroit girl, but I can leave the snow, which is what I did. So luckily I sat down with my team and I said, I'd like to try living in Florida for a year. And we worked out an agreement where I am in Florida 3 weeks, and then I come back to Michigan for a week. Florida 3 weeks, Michigan for a week. So I transitioned quite nicely. And that was 2 years ago, and it has worked. And then what happened with the natural progression of things is, I get to meet people and you start talking to people. They found out what I do. That's interesting. I could use that. And then COVID hit, and nobody could plan for what this was going to bring. And we had instant business down in Florida because of remote working, and nobody knows what to do with, they don't have workers in the office, and receivables are sitting in envelopes. So
with your remote experiment early on, though, you were probably as well postured for COVID-19 as anybody.
Oh gosh, yes, I completely was, because I had a built-in solution right away. All I had to do was move down a machine, But my work, the interesting thing about our company is that we have various sites that actually just capture the work, but all my sites are on the same network. So work can be opened in Florida, but keyed in Indiana, or vice versa. So, we're our own little built-in system. So it worked beautifully, and I get my office in Florida.
So Molly, congratulations on your success and other successes we don't have time to go into. But right now, I want you to tell everybody about what's coming in the future. You are actually going to be doing a show on this network.
I am very lucky. Thank you. Yes. So, I'm going to do a show, and what really, I'm going to draw from my own experiences, because I do have many, many women that come to me and say, how'd you do it? How did you go from, I always worked, but I worked from home. And so I was able to work, but still be the primary caregiver for our children. And then I couldn't anymore. And I came into an office, and how did I pivot? How did I transition? What's next? What do you do? So
Let's stop you right there, because the name of
yes.
your show is going to be What's Next? And
Yes.
it's going to be very much from the female perspective. And I can't tell you, Molly Chan, how excited we are to have you on the network and getting going on this, because we need more from some of these minority sectors and
Yes.
their perspective on how things are going. So welcome to the show today, and welcome to the network. We look forward to What's Next with Molly Chan.
Thank you.
All right. You've been watching this on the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman. We'll be right back with more.